So this is lesson 1.2 and page 12. Okay, so first off, they give you some vocabulary here. They talk about power, they talk about base, they talk about exponent, and then right there they give you a picture of everything. And just in the last few days when we've done some mental math, I've said, well, what's 2 squared equal, in the mental math problem, or maybe what's 4 squared, or 5 squared I've used quite a bit, 10 squared, okay? And so a lot of you forgot, but if you square something, it just simply means that number times itself. 2 times 2 is what? That's 4. 4 times 4 is what? 16. 5 squared, we just did that one this morning, it's 25. And 10 squared is 100. And so it just means it's times itself. Now, the base is this number right here. This is called the base when you're looking at the power of something. This is the base. That's the larger number. It's the one at the bottom. And this number here is called the exponent. And in this case, all the exponents are 2. But exponents could be larger than 2. I could ask you, what's 2 to the 4th power equal? Well, 2 to the 4th is what? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. What's 2 times 2? 4. What's 2 times 4?
8.
And what's 2 times 2 is 4, 8, 16. 2 times 8 is 16. So 2 to the 4th is 16.
4 2s equals 8.
That's adding. You're right. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 8. But we're not adding. We are multiplying. What if I wrote 3 squared? What does that equal? That's the same as 3 times 3 times 3. Well, what's 3 times 3? Put your chair down.
6. 9.
No, that's 3 plus 3. 3 times 3 equals, whoops, I gave it away right there. 3 times 3 equals 9. Well then, what's 3 times 9? That's 27. So 3 squared, if I was to ask you what's 3 squared equal, you could put 27. And remember that this is the base and this is the exponent. Or sometimes I might say the power. Sometimes people will call it the power. Okay?
I kind of learned about that last year. And it was
All right. Good. So hopefully you remember.
like 3 to the power of 2.
Right. Okay, let's move down a little bit here. So looking at these first examples, it says write each product as a power. Well, how many 4s do you see there that are multiplied together? 5. So that equals 4 to the 5th. And they give you that answer right there. These are examples, you guys. It even says example, example, example. So sometimes if you are working on your lesson and you don't remember what I said, you can flip back a couple pages and they may give you an example on how to solve it. All right. Let's move down a little bit further. Example number 2 I'm looking at. It says find the value of each power. Well, 7 squared equals 7 times 7. What's 7 times 7?
14.
No, that's 7 plus 7.
Oh.
7 plus 7. We're talking about exponents. We're multiplying those numbers together. Look at B here. It says, no, you don't have to write these down because they're in your book. 5 cubed. Now, there's another term maybe you've not heard. This is what? 5 what? What do I call that?
5 to the 2nd power.
5 to the 2nd power, which is kind of a long way to say it, but everybody repeat after me. 5 squared.
5 squared. squared.
Let me hear that again. 5 squared.
5 squared.
Okay. This is called 5 cubed. Everybody repeat after me. 5 cubed.
5 cubed.
Let me hear that again. 5 cubed.
5 cubed.
So in this case, the exponent is 2 squared. Anytime you see a 2 as the exponent, you're squaring the number. Anytime you see a 3 as the exponent, it's called cubed. You're cubing it. It's times 3. So this would equal 5 times 5 times 5, which equals 125. And again, they give you that answer in the example. But just remember, this is called squared, this is called cubed. Because sometimes I might say that, I don't want you to get confused. All right, moving in a little bit further here. Example number 3. It says determine whether each number is a perfect square. Now I'm looking at example 3 right here. Okay? Now, here's how you tell if a number is a perfect square. And that is just simply if a whole number is multiplied by itself equals that number. So look, 4 is a perfect square because 2 squared equals 4. Is there a whole number that I can square that would equal 100?
10.
I heard several of you say it. 10. So 100 is a perfect square. Now, if you know your multiplication tables, is there a number that equals 81 that I could square? I heard somebody whisper it. 9. 9 squared, that's 9 times 9 is 81. How about, is 49 a perfect square?
Yeah, 7.
Yeah, because 7 squared, or 7 times 7 is 49. So perfect squares are numbers that a whole number can be multiplied by itself and it would equal that. Let me ask you, is 20 a perfect square?
Yeah, no.
No, because, well, 16 is, because 4 squared, 4 times 4 is 16. And then after 4, it's 5. What's 5 squared? 25. So 4 does not work, 5 does not work, so no. 20 is not a perfect square, because there's not a whole number you could think of that if you multiply it by itself, it would equal 20. Now, when I say a whole number, it doesn't have a fraction, and there's no decimals to it. Okay? Let me erase this here. All right, let me see here. So last example I'm going to look at with you guys here is example 4. It says a game board is a square with a side length of 20 inches. What's the area of the game board? Now remember, the definition of a square, that means all 4 sides are the same. And how do you figure out area? Area, right. And perimeter, any remember that? It's adding
All the sides.
all the sides. So if I wanted to know, and this is 3 inches, if I wanted to know the area of this square, what would I do?
3 times 3.
3 times 3. Because if that side is 3, then this side is 3 inches. That means this side is 3 inches. That means this side is 3 inches. But for area, all I have to do is length times width. 3 times 3 is what?
9.
9. Now, when we're talking about area, you always label it. If it's inches, it's feet, it's miles, it's yard. So it'd be 9 inches squared. Or somebody might write 9 inches and put an SQ. But this is best, 9 inches squared.
Wouldn't that be 9 square inches?
No, you wouldn't square it like this. You wouldn't write 9 squared inches. Because what's 9 squared? That's 81 inches. That's not going to work.
What I'm saying, wouldn't it be 9 blocks inside of that?
Yes, that's right. That's right. It would be 9 blocks inside of that. So let's go to this example here. It did say that the length of the side is 20 inches, and so that'd be 20 squared. We're figuring out the area. 20 times 20, they give it to us there, is 400. So the area of the game board is 400 square inches, or as you said, it would have 400 little squares in there. Then it says, on your own, figure out the area of this stop sign. I will give you guys 1 minute. First hand up, I will call on.
What do we do, number 11?
I want you to do number 11 right now.
Do we put it on the paper?
Well, just whatever scratch paper you got there.
Or is this going to be our homework paper? And then we'd like do it.
Whatever paper you want to do one on, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to collect this, I'm just asking you.
What page is that?
13.
Oh, you got it. What is it?
576.
No, you've made a mistake.
You were wrong.
You were wrong.
Shh.
Wait, do we have to
Yes.
96?
Nope, nice try.
Do we
Nice
have to
try.
add up like all 4 sides?
Well, I just explained how to find area. It's right here.
576 area.
Area is length times width. And they give you the sides. Think about what you're forgetting.
Everything.
How did I explain that you write down area?
140.
Yes.
576 square inches.
576, you're close. It's inches squared. So you had the 576 right. We're talking about area. Area is always squared. Something squared. Feet squared, yards squared, miles squared.
576 square.
576 inches squared.
Wait, I'm not
That's the answer.
I'm not
Did I
gonna
get it
understand how you
Is that what you had, honey? Then yes, you got it correct. Questions on that, anybody?
No.
Okay. All right. Now, if you added up all 4 sides, if you added this side and this side and this side and this side, I think some of you got, what was it, 96 or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's perimeter. That's not what I was asking for. Okay. Let's take a look at the homework that I want you guys to do, and you'll have a little bit of time in class today to work on it, at least get started on it. So let's turn to page, what page is that on?
14.
Page 14, okay. I just want you guys to do, let me write this down here before anything else, even. Whoops.
Do we always do
Even.
homework even?
Yeah, you're always going to do just the even problem. So even only. So let me look at these here. Number 2. Yeah, you could do number 2. What I'll do is just kind of highlight these in green. I want you to do 2, 4, 6, 8, and I'm not going to worry about 12.
Man, that's quite a bit of homework.
Or 10. Oh, I'm sorry. Then I'll be sure to add some more if you're complaining about that I'm giving you too much. Yeah, so that's a mistake. You don't ever want to complain about how much you're getting, because I will just add more, Mr. Conyers. So let's see here. I also want you to do find the value. You need to find the value, so 14 and 16. And you can use a calculator for 18. I'm not worried about 20. Yeah, 22 you could do. So you're going to have to explain to me what error they made. It's 8 cubed, if you look at it carefully, and that's not 8 times 3. So write down the error they made. Let me see here. Number 24, let's look at that. I do want you guys to do it. 24 says the smallest figurine in a gift shop is 2 inches tall, so I'm going to put a little 2 inches right there. The height of each figurine is twice the height of the previous figure. Write a power to represent the height of the tallest figurine. Here's the tallest one right here. So this is going to be, so it's twice the next one. So what's the height of this one right here?
8 square inches.
4 inches. What's the height of this one right here, the next one? 8. So what's the height of the last one?
16.
16 inches. Now we're talking about height. So it's just, so number 24, the answer is 16 inches. There's the answer to number 24. There's a freebie for you. I just did it for you.
Then all we have to do is write 16 inches.
16 inches is all you would have to do. All right, next page I think it is, I'm not sure. Determine whether the number is a perfect square. Remember how I talked about that? You can flip back in the video early on, I talked about perfect squares. So 26, yes or no? 28, yes or no? 30, yes or no? I won't worry about, no, we could do 32, why not? Okay, so I want you to do all 4 of those. Number 34, it says write 3 powers that have values greater than 120 and less than 130. I'm not sure what they mean by that. What page is that on?
15.
15. Let me make sure I understand that question here, because I was going to have you guys do that one. Write 3 powers that have values greater than 120 and less than 130. Number 34.
Are we doing 34?
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that one. I'm going to think about, because I'm not I don't like, the answer seems kind of confusing. All right, so 36. Yeah, question?
Is it even only? Yes. Just the ones he's highlighted.
Yeah, the ones that I've highlighted so far, and those are all even, if you haven't noticed. All right, 36. 36, a landscaper. A landscaper has 125 tiles to build a square patio. The patio must have an area of at least 80 square feet. It says, what are the possible arrangements for the patio? So, I think what they're asking is 125 tiles. Okay, so you can't have more than 125 tiles, and it must, so there's two conditions. You can't have more than 125 tiles, and the area must be at least 80. So if I did, let's do this. How about if I did 7 squared, what's that equal? 49 inches squared. Is that at least 80 square feet?
No.
Nope. What if I did 8 squared? Is that at least, what is that? 64 inches squared. Is that at least 80 square feet? No. What if I did 9 squared? What's that? I heard somebody say it, 81 inches squared. Is that at least 80 square feet? Yeah, it is. That satisfies the condition. So I'll just put a yes. How about 10 squared? How about 11 squared?
10 squared is 100, 11 squared is...
Okay, so I'll let you guys figure that one out. So let me know for number 36, if this is a yes, I'll put a question mark, and if 11 is also a yes, and I'll put a question mark.
Do we write all that down?
Well, whatever you need to write down to answer it. Okay. It's not break time yet, is it? Oh no, we got about 15 minutes. Okay, let's move down here, almost done. So let's see here, 36, consider the equation 56 equals something squared. The missing number is between what two whole numbers? So I do want you to answer that one. The missing number is between what two whole numbers? And then find the value of the expression. In other words, solve it. You can do 40. I'm not worried about 42. And I'm not going to worry about 44. So there you go. All the way up to 40 I want you guys to do. So I'm going to end this video. Wow, that was over 20 minutes long. Stop video.